Good morning, everybody. The thing I wanted to talk about today was your fertility during your period and the idea that you can't get pregnant during your period. A lot of people who aren't effectively or properly charting their cycles just assume the first week or so is safe because of this idea that you can't get pregnant during your period. But as you probably know what I'm going to say is that's not actually true. You can potentially get pregnant during your period. So here's the reason. Chances are you're not actually going to be ovulating during your period in those first 5 days or so. But what can happen if you have a short cycle is that the cervical mucus will start to show during that time. And we all know that cervical mucus means that sperm can live for up to 5 days. So if you're having unprotected sex and you have mucus during your period, then the sperm can live until you ovulate, potentially. And so that's usually how it happens. So that's why it's so important to understand how your fertility works during your entire cycle and know what to do on different days. And so there's a few ways to do this depending on whether you're a new charter or an experienced charter. And so for everybody, we always say on the light or very light days of your period, you need to do your observational routine and check for mucus. You need to do those checks because that's when you can really start to see it showing up if you're going to have an early ovulation. And so what that means is you need to be using pads. So if you're using tampons or a cup, then you can't actually do an accurate check, right? So to be the most effective, you would consider those days potentially fertile and do a count of 3 after you stop using the menstrual products and can start to do the checks properly. Obviously, a lot of people might not want to do this. They want to keep using their tampons, and that's fine as long as you understand what that means, right? It's all about teaching you how it works and what it means, and then you can apply this to your life in a way that's effective and works for you. So that's my recommendation to be the most effective. And then on the heavy and medium days of your period, if you are an experienced charter and you've confirmed ovulation in the last cycle, then you can consider the heavy and medium days of blood flow to be infertile. If you are a new charter, or if you have short cycles, or if you are in perimenopause as well, because cycle lengths vary quite a bit, or if you have not confirmed ovulation, or you're just not quite sure, then it's better just to consider those heavy and medium days as potentially fertile, just in case, right? It's all about understanding what to do and knowing how to apply it. So assume you're potentially fertile, even if you're not, right? Because whether you're trying to get pregnant or avoid pregnancy, you don't want to miss those days of fertility or not be sure. So that's how you do it. Let me know if you have any questions. I know this is a new concept for a lot of people who maybe always just assumed that the first few days are infertile, but that's not necessarily true. So, and I'd also love to know in the comments, do you check for mucus during those days of your cycle? Has it been challenging? I know sometimes it can take a while to get into the habit and also to recognize the difference, like what does a normal tail end of your period look like compared to what is mucus. So that's something that can take a little while to get the hang of, but you definitely can get the hang of it. And I'm here to help if you're having troubles with that as well. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat more with you about this.